Hey, how you doing today? I am Tequila Coleman. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 7 steps to heal a broken heart. Now, we did go live last night on this very topic, but because of the internet connection, it was being interrupted. We wasn't really getting a good connection last night. I wanted to re-record this video just to make sure you have all the steps on how to heal a broken heart, okay? Now, this teaching can be applied to a counterfeit situation and also to the situation with your prodigal spouse, okay? And so let's start with the definition for heal. To heal means to become sound or healthy again. And it also means to alleviate a person's distress or anguish, right? So I have identified, whenever I am going through my own healing process, right? Whenever I'm trying to get over a broken heart, what helps me to move into a level of healing is when I'm getting clarity, understanding, new knowledge, when I move away from the very person that is causing the hurt and pain to my heart, and also when God has stepped in and has given me a different perspective, and I'm learning the lesson and I'm growing from, the very thing that I'm going through. I have discovered for me, this is how, healing a broken heart comes about within my own life. Okay. So just understand, healing, it is a process one must go through. It's not going to happen overnight. As you begin to do the work, as you begin to work through these layers, get new knowledge, understanding, clarity, as God gives you a different perspective and you begin to learn from these lessons, you're going to move into a level of healing, okay? So the first step on how to heal from a broken heart is to know the difference between true love and toxic love. According to scripture, the Bible tells us that love comes from God and that God is love, right? So if God is love and God is all holy, he's pure, right? I have to begin to understand and get the revelation that there's nothing about God that's toxic. So I can't even tell myself what I'm receiving from this individual is toxic love, because love cannot be toxic, because my God, the God I serve, isn't toxic. Nothing about God is toxic, right? So you're either receiving in a relationship true love or hate, okay? You're either receiving true love or hate from an individual. And so I want you to, like I said, know the difference between true love and hate, okay? Because nothing about God is toxic. Now, we have to learn what true love is according to scripture, okay? Because if you base what society, what this world teaches you about love, then you might find yourself believing that love hurts you. You may find yourself believing that love, when it's love, it would cuss you out. It would stab you in the back. It would do you harm. It would break up with you only to later make up with you, right? You may take on the mindset you got to go through things with a person, because that's what love is, right? And according to scripture, love is patient, it's kind, right? It's forgiving. Love will tell you the truth. Love builds you up, right? Love, it never ends, right? Right? It perseveres through thick and thin, right? Love sacrifice for the one it loves, right? And so we got to go back to scripture to learn exactly what true love is, so that now I can discern exactly what I'm getting from this individual who I was in a relationship with. Because right now your heart is telling you love an individual, and it's breaking for this individual, when really the person who your heart is breaking for, or yearning for, maybe that individual gave you hate because they hate themselves and they just projected off onto you how they feel about themselves, right? So I gotta know, for step number one, the difference between, I have to know what true love is, and I also have to begin to discern what was I receiving and getting in this relationship when I was involved with this particular person. That's number one, okay? The second step on how to heal a broken heart is, I can't confuse the high intense emotion when me and this particular person is arguing. We cussing one another out. We're fighting. There's name calling going on. I can't confuse all of that, because usually when all of this takes place, the two of you would come together to make up, right? You have makeup sex, right? Or you might take the woman out onto a shopping spree, buy her everything, right? Or maybe the woman might treat you, might give you a good massage or buy you your favorite gift. I don't know, but you can't confuse the fight, the arguing, the back and forth, the cheating, and then turn around to have makeup sex. You can't confuse that with love, okay? Because it is what it is. This is toxicity, okay? It's hate. And this person is showing you their love language. They showing you, by being in a relationship with this individual, this is how they love. They love you by calling you out your name. They love you by picking fights with you. They love you when they being petty. You have to begin to see a thing for what it is so that you begin to understand, okay, heart, I understand you might be loving this individual, but I don't love that. I refuse to love, a individual that's showing up this way. You got to give yourself honesty and truth so that, because our heart would lie to us, okay? The Bible tells us the heart is deceitful, right? So I can't believe what my heart is telling me. I got to believe what this individual is showing me, okay? So that's number 2. Number 3, on a piece of paper, you want to write down who you thought the person you was with, who did you think they was? Because sometimes we can start off liking an individual. They can show us one thing, right? Because when we meet people, they have their representative on, right? And after a year or 2 or maybe 5 years, they let their guard down because they have now become comfortable with us, right? And so you could have went into this relationship thinking this individual was a man of God, a woman of God, had this certain status, was just great, was a great father, a great mother, only for you to later find out this is not the person who I thought, I was in love with, Like, this is not who I thought I was falling in love with, right? So you got to begin to, I want you to write it on a piece of paper. Who did I fall for? Number 1, who did I think this person was? And then number 2, who are they really showing me to be? What are they giving me? How are they treating me? What are the things they saying to me? Are they breaking me down or are they building me up? You got to believe the actions of the person, okay? Believe what this person is showing you, because sometimes we will hold on to individuals in our heart because we hoping that they will become the person we always thought they was in our mind, right? So we got to come away from that, okay? And we do this by, again, we got to become honest with ourselves and give ourselves the truth, okay? The 4th step on how to heal a broken heart is you got to know the signs to look for. Do you know the signs? Do you know the signs of an immature person? Do you know the signs of a person who is lacking character? Do you know the signs when a person is emotionally unavailable? When they have trust issues or even poor communication? Do you know the signs? Let's go over some of the signs. I'm not going to go over all of them, but let's go over some. Signs of an immature person, you will see they're not taking responsibility for their action. They have to be the center of attention. They can't admit to when they are wrong. There's name calling. They picking and engaging in fights with you. They dismissive, of your feelings, passive aggressive. They bullying others. They petty. They had that I'm gonna get you back mindset. They don't even have any. They have zero impulse control, so they act without thinking. Okay, very rude. Refuse to apologize, blame you for everything, make you feel bad for things they have done to you, right? They shut down, okay? There's a lack of consideration for others, needs and wants. They don't respect your boundaries, okay? Signs of emotionally unavailability. So if a person is emotional unavailable, here's the sign. They will keep you and your relationship a secret. They avoid titles. So they won't give your relationship a title, okay? And they also will avoid the word love, okay? It's like they check out when you start saying I love you to the person. They will only allow you to get so close to them, okay? Because they got a wall up. They fear being vulnerable and intimate, like intimacy. Okay. The relationship is one-sided. You feel drained when when you are in a relationship with them. You never know what you're gonna get. You will feel like you on an emotional roller coaster. This is how you know you involved in a relationship with someone who is emotionally unavailable. It may be just toxic. Okay. You are the one who doing all the work, so you're the one doing all the calling, the texting, pursuing, making dates. They only are available for sex. Okay, so they any other time when you want to talk, they're not available. They always busy. But when you put sex on the table, they're right there and they're ready to go. Okay, a fear of intimacy and being vulnerable, lack of communication skills. They send you mixed signals. They pull away. They will ghost you and disappear. Right? They got commitment issues, indifferent, inconsistent, things of that nature. Let's go over signs that this person has bad character. Okay, because this would tell you a lot about this individual. Lies. Okay, they just constantly lying. They behave in sneaky way. They very dishonest. They don't walk their talk. So if they calling themselves a woman of God, you seeing something opposite. Okay, or if they say they're a man of God, you seeing something opposite. They talk bad about others. They don't keep their word. They're a hypocrite. You won't see any loyalty. Okay, they're very selfish. They don't keep their word. They will tell all your business. Okay. Brown nose and things of that nature. Okay. So it's very important for us to know the signs of what we are dealing with here. Okay. So that we are now getting clarity on the person your heart is telling you that it loves. Because when you get clear on what it is that you want and the person you want to, do life with, I'm sure you don't want to do life with someone who is immature, who is emotionally unavailable, right? Who lacks character. That's not what you want. You want someone who is honest, loyal, faithful, who support you, who has your back, right? So when we go through these signs and begin to take a look at this person who we have involved ourselves with, we get to really see what we are dealing with here, right? And then this also helps you to get clarity, why, like why certain things happen in your relationship, okay? Number 5, when we talk about how to heal a broken heart, I want you to take a look at yourself. In what ways was you a reflection to this person? Because whoever I am, that's exactly who I'm going to attract, right? So maybe at the time when you met this individual, maybe you were hurting. Maybe you were dealing with some father wounds or a mother wound, right? And as a result of this unhealed wound, you attracted someone who also was dealing with their own unhealed wound, their own unhealed trauma, right? And that's probably what was the connector. It connected the two of you together, right? And maybe the two of you came together to meet, us or fulfill a certain void in one another, right? But here's the thing about relationship. When they come to an end, relationship comes to an end. Breakups happens because the two of you are no longer walking on one accord. Someone in the relationship has outgrown the other, okay? And this is why relationships come to an end. We came together in our timing, but now that you're growing to the next level, it's time to let go. It's time to keep it moving, okay? It's not that you're leaving people behind. They had the opportunity to grow with you. They chose to stay where they at, so leave them where they at, okay? Number 6, when we talk about how to heal a broken heart, you got to look at your expectation. One of the reasons why we will stay holding on to certain exes from our past is because we still waiting on them to meet our expectations, right? We still looking for them to fulfill, whatever promise they may have, told you or promised you, right? But you got to get clear on, you got to ask yourself, well, what was my expectation for this person? Maybe I expected this person to love me for the rest of my life, right? And maybe they just couldn't. They didn't have love in them, so they couldn't love you for the rest of your life, right? So that doesn't mean, you're going to be single all of your life. No, that means, number 1, you start loving yourself, okay? Because remember what I said, who you are, you know, whoever you are at your core, that's what you're going to attract into your life. So instead of me looking to this individual to love me, I got to love myself, right? When I start loving on myself, when I start putting myself first, my wants and my needs, I'm going to attract an individual who also love themselves and who also put their wants and needs, you know, first as well. And who also can come into my life and love me the way how I'm, you know, looking to be loved, okay? If you always wanted this person to accept you or approve of you, right? Again, let's start with you. How can you start accepting yourself? You know, what particular parts of yourself are you rejecting? Are you rejecting your calling? If so, it's time to go ahead and move into accepting the calling that's on your life, okay? I can't look to a person to give me what I refuse to give myself. So it starts with me. I got to look within. And then, you know I'm healing when I release all expectation I have for this individual, okay? I don't, you know, I had my expectation for this person, but I'm seeing where this individual is at. You know, I'm releasing, I'm letting go of these expectations. I'm going to give what I didn't get in this relationship to myself, okay? This is how we begin to move forward. And number 7 is to forgive the person. You want to move into forgiveness. So, you know, forgiveness is a commandment. Forgiveness, you know, it is a decision I make. Forgiveness is also a process. So it's not going to be an overnight thing because I got to deal with the resentment. I got to deal with the disappointment. I got to, you know, let go of these expectations if I want to arrive to a state of forgiveness, right? So I got to make the decision to forgive this individual for, you know, hurting me however way they did it, right? Maybe for you, you want to write them a forgiveness letter, okay? I forgive you for, and just go ahead and write. When you're done, you could throw the paper away. You don't necessarily have to give it to them. But this is how we start releasing that pent up emotion from out of our heart, okay? You got to let that anger out. You have to let those emotions out, okay? If you want to move to a space of forgiveness. But we got to forgive the person who broke our heart. And then also forgive yourself, because I'm sure as you are reflecting back onto the relationship, you're probably upset with yourself for tolerating certain things. You're probably like, why did I tolerate that? Why did I settle for that? When you know better, you do better. So now that you know, you are aware of what you were tolerating and the things you were settling for, now let's learn from it. And in the next relationship, we know what not to tolerate. We know what not to settle for. We know our worth and value now, right? So we're just going to keep it moving. So forgive yourself for the things you put up with, right? Now that you know your worth, and let's keep it moving, okay? And then forgive, you know, I mean, not forgive, but accept God's forgiveness, you know, of yourself, okay? Because God has something better for you. Better is out here, okay? He has something better for you. He's going to give you what your heart desires. God is going to give you true love, but you got to let go of what is hurting your heart in order to receive true love. God is going to meet your needs, okay? He's going to give you, you know, the love your heart always yearned for. He's going to exceed your expectations, okay? But it first starts with us making a decision to move into a level of healing, doing the work, forgiving the person who broke our heart, releasing them, letting them go, and getting ourselves in position to receive what God has in store for us, okay? So that is it. Those are the 7 steps on how to heal a broken heart. Let me know your ahas and takeaway in the comment section below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a positive comment. I'll talk to you all real soon. Take care.